We've all heard about the power of automation in logistics, right? But what if I told you the real revolution isn't just about doing things faster, it's about doing things smarter. So today, we're going to look beyond simple automation and dig into a much bigger topic: how to truly master artificial intelligence through control and governance.
So, we've talked a lot about operational structures and the massive opportunities that come with automation. We've laid some really solid groundwork there.
But things are changing, and fast. The ground is kind of shifting under our feet here because the conversation, it's already moved way beyond just basic automation. Something much bigger is happening right now.
I mean, think about it. For decades, we've been laser-focused on one thing: perfecting systems that are incredible at following instructions. We tell them what to do, they do it. Simple. But now, we're stepping into a whole new world. We're building systems that don't just follow orders anymore. Nope. These systems can interpret, they can analyze, and ultimately, they can make decisions. And that changes everything. All right, so what does this shift really mean for us on the ground? Let's break it down. We're going to dive into this fundamental change, this move from a world of instructions to a world of decisions. And this slide, this really lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got your traditional rules-based automation. It's simple, right? If this happens, do that. But on the other side, that's the game changer: AI-driven systems. They're not just following a script, they are there to influence decisions. And look, this isn't some far-off theoretical thing. It's happening right now. In logistics today, AI is already generating really smart customer communications. It's suggesting better routes, better planning decisions. It's digging into operational performance, finding patterns a human would just never spot. And it's even handling all that tricky compliance and documentation. So the key takeaway here is simple. This isn't science fiction. We're not talking about some far-flung future. This stuff is here. It's being rolled out across the industry as we speak. Okay, but with all this new capability comes a whole new kind of risk, right? A totally new challenge. We've got to shift our thinking away from just worrying about whether a process fails to focusing on the quality of the actual decision being made. And this just nails the difference. For so long, the big question for any ops manager was, hey, did the process run correctly? It was a simple yes or no, a mechanical check. But now, the question is so much tougher, so much more nuanced. Now we have to ask, was the decision the right one? See the difference? We're moving from auditing a process to actually judging an outcome. So, if we're up against this totally new kind of risk, how do we handle it? How do we get our arms around it? Well, the answer is all about defining clear, practical, operational control. This is the absolute heart of good AI governance. The core idea here is actually pretty simple. The second a system stops just doing tasks and starts influencing choices, that's the moment we as leaders have to step in and define the rules of the road. We have to define its control. And building that control framework really boils down to asking 4 simple but absolutely critical questions. First up, accountability. Who is ultimately responsible for the outcome? If an AI suggests a bad route and a shipment is late, where does the buck stop? Second question is all about scope. What decisions is this system even allowed to make or, to influence? Can it offer a customer a 10% discount? Sure, but what about a 50% discount? We have to draw that line. Third, we need to talk about guardrails. Where are the hard limits, the non-negotiables? For example, an AI can suggest a new delivery schedule. That's fine, but it can never create one that violates a driver's legal hours. Those kinds of limits are absolute. And last but not least, the what-if plan. What happens when something goes wrong? Because, let's be honest, it will. What's the process for a human to step in, to override the system, and, crucially, to make sure we learn from that mistake? And that's why this whole idea of governance can't just be some dusty policy document sitting on a shelf. It has to be a living, breathing part of your actual operation. It's got to be baked into how your systems are designed, how they're controlled every single day, and how your people monitor them out in the real world. Now, you might be thinking, okay, all this talk about control sounds like you just want to put the brakes on AI. But that's not it at all. It's actually the opposite. It's about unlocking AI's true power by pairing it with our most valuable asset, our experienced people.
Think about it. An AI is brilliant at learning from historical data, right? But it's your veteran planners, your experienced managers, they're the ones who understand the messy, unpredictable reality of logistics. They know all the weird edge cases. They can see the curveballs coming that a purely data-driven system would totally miss. Their experience tells them exactly where that human touch, that human control is needed most.
And this all leads to a really powerful idea, and it's so important. AI does not, I repeat, does not remove the need for experience. It actually does the opposite. It makes that human experience, that judgment, more valuable than ever before.
All right, so let's bring this all home. What does this mean for your business? How do you take these ideas and turn them into a real, tangible competitive advantage? Well, in this last section, we're going to talk about what we call the governance differentiator.
Look, pretty soon, every single major player in logistics is going to have access to powerful AI. The tech itself, that's not going to be the advantage. The real winners here aren't going to be the companies that just jumped on the AI bandwagon the fastest. No, the winners will be the ones who implemented it the smartest, with deliberate, thoughtful, and really solid operational control.
Because at the end of the day, what really separates the best from the rest in this business? It's trust, it's reliability, it's consistent performance. And that's why the future of logistics won't be defined simply by who uses AI,
but by who controls it. That right there, that is the new strategic high ground. That is the governance advantage.